going on? Y'all coming on up in here? We'll talk a little bit, you know, get this new year off right. Get this new year set. Y'all come on up in here. Y'all come on up in here.
Smelling like gas, but you take us on A. My flow was unique. But how you gon' eat if my stuff at the streets? Being unique, inherit the earth. Always a lamb on these streets. One slay 100 and two slay 1,000. Believe me, they out there and counting. How many bodies you dropping? How many songs on your album is popping? How many followers listen? How many famous are watching and how many dissing? That's why we have stars and that's why we have masses. We all came from the bottom to the top of our classes. Remember when I used to pray for this? Now I got them wanna pay for this. A lot of folks ain't made for this. Make a man, then use a man. Give them money, houses, then they shoot a man. This game ain't like shooting pool, my friend. This hustle's much bigger than you, my friend. I know you looking for handouts, but all I am selling is game. Yeah, we need to relate. I ain't got patience to wait. We need to do it about face and stare the whole truth in the face. But I ain't got time for your hate. I'm on a mission, I'm headed to great. I don't have time to play catch up, cause you always late. I'm running the game, I'm running the game. I don't got time for your nonsense and I don't got time to play games. I carry weight in my pocket, my money makes money like it makes profits. I take the fear out of shopping. While we out, we gon' pick out your coffin. I've seen fairy tale endings have problems. R.I.P. all of my departed friends. This game is for free. This game is for free. You gon' have to go through the furnace if you wanna come out on the other side free. Time to ignite the stuff. Go ahead and take your shot. Running the game.
We about to talk about it, y'all. Let people get in the room.
I don't got time for your nonsense and I don't got time to play games.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
My entourage all carry rockets. Take the fear out of you and go shopping. I will need your help choosing your coffin. The game is not dead, resuscitated. I breathe on these tracks and reanimate it. I act like the greatest, I act like I made it. No misconception, I shoot where I'm aiming. I move this stuff like it's real estate. Moving this work like we out of state. I'm up in this place.
I'm up in this place.
I'm up in this place. I'm going no clips.
Going no clips.
A lady with grace.
A lady with grace.
How you gonna act like you made it? Everything I do demands payment. I learned a long time ago to stop saving people. So when I'm in traffic, I just wave at people. Take a man's style and cut him with it, then give it back to a puppet minutes. This game is so ever changing, but I'm only here for the payment. This game ain't like shooting pool, my friend. This hustle's much bigger than you, my friend. Honestly, I don't know how to play. In the album, you ain't got that long to wait.
All right. Y'all come on up in here, man. We trying to get this live thing back cracking. You know, after they shut down your momentum, after they banana your account, you just got to come back bigger, stronger than ever. And plus, I'm at a new time. I'm not in the daytime where most people are on. I'm coming on. This is the late night tap in, but yeah, I really didn't want to bring this into 2025, but I did want to talk about it. I did want to talk about it, y'all. I didn't want to bring this into 2025, but I feel some type of way about it because men are getting blamed for everything. You know, it just seems like one of those things where something happens and it's just cool to blame all men for a small percentage of men. And I just think it's something that I just want to address and I want to talk about. And I want to talk about it in a respectful way, right? I'm not here to denigrate anybody or put anybody down, right? But I do want to talk about it, man. Y'all heard about, y'all heard about that 70,000 men on Telegraph? Who's heard about that? Who's heard about the 70,000 men on Telegraph? Did anybody hear about that? Germans, men from all over the world, right? They're on this Telegram, and they're sharing things, things I can't talk about on here. But if y'all did some research on it or know about it, I just want to know, what do y'all think? Shout out to BX, thank you, appreciate it. What do y'all think about these 70,000 men who are on Telegram? Okay, I saw some disturbing TikToks from feminists. I seen it. You know, oh, we gotta decenter men, and men are bad, and you know, and I'm like, 70,000 men, and all men are bad because 70,000 incels, men who obviously have issues, problems, they're PDF files, they're rapists, you know, they're just low bottom, terrible human beings. We're not defending any man who are part of the 70,000 on Telegram. These are the lowest of the low and the despicable of the despicable. But my question is, and this was the disturbing part, and I don't know these people's backgrounds. You know, I'm really big now on checking, you know, where's your family from? That's the first thing I'm thinking about. When I hear, you know, when I hear disparaging things coming out of melanated people's mouths, I don't just assume anymore. I start thinking like, where are these people's family from? Because melanated doesn't mean black. And a lot of things is being attached to to black men and black women that just shouldn't be there. But I saw many videos, not just from melanated women saying this, YT women, Hispanic women, all of them with the mindset to decenter men because of a small group of men getting together online. And I hope and pray that all of them see HE double hockey sticks. I pray that, you know, that this is that they get them all. They're monitoring the comments in my library. Wow, okay. I gotta be cool about this topic. I gotta be cool about the topic. Thank you for letting me know. So let me make sure everybody can comment real quick before I even get going. Let me make sure I can. I just want to make sure that everything is good. Okay. Let me make sure everything is good. Okay, we're all good. So I'm trying to do this in the most respectful way, but you know, 70,000 evil human beings who are men. Now, I don't know any men that do this, that act like this. And the chat shouldn't write unfriendly TikTok language. Yes, please don't do any unfriendly TikTok language in the comments. Please don't do that, chat. Please don't. Thank you, BX. I appreciate you. It's just very, very shameful. This is not what a man is. This is not what a man does. This is what emotional... See, I say this all the time. Women, you do not want a bunch of emotional men running around. Emotional men are the most dangerous men on the planet. You want masculine men. You want men who use logic, who are calm, right? No, they weren't all German. They were men from Germany, but they were men from all over the world coming together. These were men who from all over the world. So there wasn't just 70,000 men in one area. They were 70,000 men who were communicating in English. But they were coming from different regions of the earth. Different regions, okay? This is what happens when you have a bunch of incels, emotional men. This is the low tier. Listen, when these men get cut off of access from things that masculine men and other men are supposed to get, this is what the internet has done. See, in the past, it was isolated. These were just isolated men. Isolated men. But because of something called the internet, it connects you now. Now you can form any group you want. You can form a hate group. You can form a friend group. You can form any group you want to form online now, because there are men out there from all different walks of life, women included, that are going to click up. And now what the internet has done is created a space for these incels to talk to each other, to give each other some information. And this is what's happening. And I just want to let the ladies know, you don't need to be alarmed, because this is a small, think about how small 70,000 men is. 70,000 weak, emotional men. Very small number. Nothing, less than 1% of the population. Period. And they're not even all from America. They're from all over the world, Germany included. They're from all over the world. So these are small pockets of men talking to each other and sharing these deviant information with each other. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. These are not good men. Emotional men are the most dangerous men on the planet, because they don't move masculine. You don't know what these men are going to do, because they're moving, like, for lack of a better word, they're moving in a manipulative way that's undercover, that you don't know, and you don't know. And when they're emotional, they can just lash out at any minute for any small thing, can set them off, and it can just it's just bad. It's just bad. I had a guy named it's not our Wolfie, but I had a guy named Wolfie. This guy's in the military. He's been to WAR, and he used to ask this question: have you ever seen a hysterical man before? An hysterical man is an emotional man who doesn't have control anymore. A hysterical man is an emotional man who no longer has control anymore. And when you deal with a hysterical man, he said that it took about 20 men just to hold one hysterical man down. And imagine if you become hysterical at the wrong time. Imagine when you lose all composure, all coolness, all collectiveness, all logic, and you're just full of emotions, and you do it at the wrong time. You know what that means? That means other people get unalived because of one hysterical man. One hysterical man can unalive 10s, 20, 30, a whole battalion can become unalive because one man left his post and lost it and became hysterical. This is why, women, I want you to hear me. You don't want emotional men near you. They are dangerous. If you understand how women become emotional, imagine putting that emotion that women have inside of a man who has no logic. It's deadly. It's insane. It's insane. So I want you to understand that these simps that y'all keep around y'all, these simps hovering, these simps that you put in the friend zone, these are emotional men, ladies. And these are the men that you should be fearing, not hanging around. The men that try to tell you anything, those men in your inbox, hey baby, you look so good, you so fine, sister. Those simp type brothers, those are emotional men. Those are incels. that get no play. And you put them in the friend zone and you use them and you take advantage of them and you get money out of them. But here's the problem. Those are the same type of men who are part of the 70,000 on Telegram. Not all of them. But they fit the profile is what I'm saying. They fit the profile. These men, they know they're not masculine enough to get the woman just off the cuff, off the string, off the confidence, off the rap, off the mouthpiece. They have to pay. They have to tell you what you want to hear. They have to take advantage of you when you're weak in order to have a relation with you. These are the emotional men that you guys have in your circle. Now, they often say the men who commit these type of crimes, right? The men who do these type of things, they're closer to you than you think. These are crimes of passion. So it's usually somebody you know, ladies. It's not going to be somebody you don't know. It's going to be somebody you do know. And these are the men that you often put in the friend zone and they're waiting around, hoping, not all of them, but hoping that they get a turn, that they get a chance. So, let me tell you something, ladies. Men are protectors. Real men. We're logical. Not that we can't be emotional, we can be, but we have the discipline to keep our emotions in check. Not all the time, but most of the time, because anybody can be triggered. Anybody can be triggered. Anybody can be triggered. But for the most part, men, that's the first thing we learn, especially if you have a father in the home. The first thing your father teaches you is how to control your emotions, because when you get out of line, your father's going to whoop that tail. And you're going to learn very quickly that you're not going to get emotional around your dad. You're not going to do whatever you want to do. You're not going to take advantage like you can probably get away with from your mom. But when you run into that other man in the house who says my way or the highway, you're going to learn to get your emotions in check real quick. That's why, ladies, men, don't ever think men are not important, especially when raising other men. Don't ever think that not having that man in the home is not valuable. Having that man, that disciplinary, that logical thinking man in the home, that leader, that's everything, okay? That is everything. That is everything. Because you don't want emotional men running around. Remember, they are dangerous. When emotions are high, intelligence is low. Super low. So just imagine, if you're worried about 70,000 men on Telegram, you should be worried about those beta male orbiters that you have in your friend zone. Those non-masculine brothers who are stupid enough to wait around and not be masculine enough to find a woman that's actually into them, but they're stupid enough to wait around until you're weak and vulnerable. That's the man you should be worried about. The beta male simps that you guys keep around. The ones you try to use for dinner, for foodies, the ones you try to get to take you out on trip because they ain't got the mouthpiece to give you the rap to do it the right way. They gotta pay. Those men who gotta pay for play, those are the men you gotta be worried about. Not real men, not the everyday average man. It's the beta male orbiter simps that you gotta worry about. Putting something in you, I don't know if I can say it's on drink, but you know how you guys go out on those dates? And the first thing you should learn as a woman is if you walk away from your drink You don't go back to it. That's the first thing you gotta learn, ladies. That's what they should have learned at the Diddy parties, right? But they walked in knowing the drinks were, you know, what it was, and they participated anyway. So ain't nobody giving past the grown people. If you grown and you out there reckless and tooting and booting it and having 1,000 body counts, you know, it's gonna come with something. It's gonna come with something. There's a possibility you can catch that monster. There's a possibility somebody could slip something and do something nefarious to your drink, and things can happen, and whether you tell or not, it still happened to you. So it's traumatizing enough. Yeah, Mickey, whatever, slip a Mickey. I don't know if I can say that, but let's hope. You know, I'm trying to be real. I'm trying not to get bananaed again on TikTok, y'all. I'm really trying not to. I love TikTok Shop. F1 in the chat, people. I love TikTok Shop. But I want y'all to understand that it's not 70,000 men who are millions of miles away from you that you got to worry about, that are on Telegram sharing these crazy, weird, psycho. They all, listen, I hope they all go to 𝗖𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀. I hope they all burn. Okay? I hope they all burn. But this is not the time to decenter men because of a small group of incels are doing. If anything, this is the new year, and let me tell you what you should be doing. It's called purge. It's just called purge. Get closer to the Most High. That's all you should be thinking. Get closer to the ancestors. Get your life on track. Get rid of the beta male simp orbiters that are surrounding you constantly, telling you lies. Get around some thorough brothers and sisters that are going to give you straight talk and give it to you how it's supposed to be. Surround yourself around people that you respect enough that can tell you the truth about yourself, and you will listen. Yeah, I miss our brother kevinsamuels too. Shout out to that brother, man. He did the work. He did the work. But that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't be worrying about 70,000 men who are far away from you. You should be worried about the beta male orbiter that you have around you, because these are proximity crimes and crimes of passion. These are the same men that you put in the friend zone. These are the same men that when you need your rent paid. These are the same men that when you need a bill paid, when you need some new shoes, when you need a new purse. These are the men, the emotional men, the dangerous men that you allow in your life. And what do? Again, these are the men who are preying on you for you to become vulnerable and weak. So you'll look at them, hoping that you'll look at them like you look at the alpha male. Again, men are protectors. Men are leaders. Majority of men and men in general are not these 70,000 incel, emotional, dangerous, psychotic, mentally that's not a man. So when you start doing things and you start feeding into these feminist comments on TikTok, and I see a lot, I seen it, I'm addressing because I see it in the melanated women. I'm gonna say that because I don't know if they're foundational black. I don't know. I gotta ask questions. I always gotta be, where your family from? Who told you those lies? And why do you feel like you need to spread them? I only hang around and I only know thorough men. Now understand when I say this. The way a woman grows to become a woman is very different than how a man becomes a man. Because men We have to go through the furnace. We have to go through the fire. We have to go through. So most men don't really truly become men until their late 30s, early 40s. Just being honest. If you're with a man before 30 years old, you're probably with a boy. And you're not complaining about men, you're complaining about a boy. Because men, in order to become a man, you have to be tested. You have to be proven. You have to have some scars, some wounds. You have to go through something. You have to achieve things. You have to, you can't just put your daddy drawers on and think you're a man. Doesn't work that way. Men, we go through many, 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 many trials. And we all got a different time clock. Some men can get few men can get it in their 20s. Some men it take 30, 40, 50 years. So ladies, when y'all complaining about these boys, understand. Don't judge them at this time. Give those boys a chance to become men. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the in between. How long is it going to take for this brother to become who I need him to become? And am I willing to wait and go through the ups and downs until he becomes that man? And am I strong enough as a woman to stay out the way and let him hit those roadblocks and overcome them on his own without trying to assist him? Because you don't want to be a man's crutch. You don't want to be his mama. A lot of times mothers are crutches for their sons because they mama them too much. Boys don't need mothering. They need fathering. Mothering 0 to 3, and this is just how I look at it. Okay, y'all can disagree, but if it don't apply, let it fly. But from 0 to 3, that man child needs a mother, nurturing, caring, loving, all that stuff. Let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. Let me do everything for you because you're a baby. But once that 3 years is up, he needs structure and discipline for the rest of his life. He needs fathering. He needs a man to tell him, go figure it out. He needs to go through the frustration of trying to figure it out because he's not always going to have his father. He's not always going to have his parents, his mother. A man has to be able to figure it out and execute. He has to be able to solve his own problems before he can solve others' problems. So when you're complaining, most of you women are complaining about boys who are still trying to become men. So I don't want y'all looking to these Telegram men and listening to this garbage on the internet where you got all these feminists coming. See, that's why we need to decenter men, ladies. That's why we got to become the bear. We choose the bear and we become the bear, and then all of a sudden they start shaving all their hair off and these women are bald. And all of a sudden you got a whole nother 4B West movement all over again. And it's always ruled by some feminist that turned LGBTQ, let's just keep it a buck. And she's trying to get all women to give up men because of the 70,000 men on Telegram. Don't make no sense. Just don't make no sense. The ones you really got to worry about, ladies, again, are the men you put in the friend zone. Those are the most dangerous men that are to you. Because ain't no thorough brother going to sit around and wait for no woman to give him something. Ain't no thorough brother going to sit around and wait in the friend zone after you done slept with 1,000 dudes, and then all of a sudden at the end of the road when you about to hit the wall, now you're gonna look to the brother that's been in the friend zone and be like, he's been there through me through thick and thin. You know, I just overlooked him, but now my eyes is clear. I can see now that he was the one that God chose for. No thorough brother is waiting in no friend zone, ladies. If that man is waiting, something's wrong with him. Point blank. And he's probably part of a secret group, like on Telegram. And you just don't know nothing about it. Don't know nothing about it. So I just wanted to tell y'all, ladies, man, I had to come out and just make sure you don't bring this into 2025. Don't bring the mentality to decenter men. Bring the mentality that you want to find a man that you can work with, grow with, and build with, and establish your life. Get out of the game. Those who stay in the game too long, they get burnt. And you know what I mean. Men and women, if you stay in these streets too long, something bad's going to happen. Get yourself a good woman, get yourself a good man, and build something together. Ride off into the sunset. Build a future for yourself. Do things the right way. Become righteous. Be a righteous individual on this earth. That's what's going to help you, and that's what's going to save you. Worrying about, like I said, I'm just going to say melanated women. I just saw a bunch of melanated women coming across my For You page on this 70,000 men, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What? Then I had to do some research on it and find out what? These are men from all over the world, and let's keep it a buck. I don't think they were any. You know, the first man they mentioned was German, so that should tell you right there. And let's just keep it a buck. A lot of these alleged white supremacists, these alleged white supremacists, they're into stuff like that. So a lot of you women with these zaddies, that's what you need to worry about. Melanated women, you who choose to be with the zaddy, they have a strange culture, them white supremacists. They have a strange culture. That's all I'm gonna. It's a buck. They buck break each other. A lot of those little shaved head white zaddies that y'all be dealing with, y'all, or they don't even have to shave their heads anymore. You don't even know. You don't even know. But they come from a weird and a strange culture that's nothing like what you think. I could tell you some horror stories of women who got them a zaddy and then they realized, you know, hey man, they were the fetish. And you don't know what these men are typing on. You just don't know. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, emotional men are not thorough brothers. They are dangerous men, and you don't need them around you. And the moment I find out a brother is emotional, I get away from that brother. If you crash out on the internet and start getting emotional on the internet, that's all I need to know right there. This brother's not stable. This brother's not stable. If you're getting on the internet getting triggered, you know what? I don't even gotta fight you. I don't even gotta say nothing. I just gotta get out of your way and let you crash out. Because you're an emotional man. And you're a dangerous man. And I know to keep my head on the swivel. Unhinged, exactly, unhinged. I know to keep my head on the swivel anytime I'm near you or in your vicinity. I see it all the time, man. You know, I got brothers, you know, that I've known for a while, but you know, let me tell you, I never really let people get too close to me. You know, I'm very guarded and protective in that sense. You know, I know who my day ones are, and my day, you know, and And them are really the brothers I rock with the most. But there are a few people, you know, I feel out now that get a little close, you know, but I still keep that distance because I'm just, you know, I just know that any moment, the real brother, the truth is always going to reveal itself. The truth is always going to reveal itself. I know at any moment. So I pay attention to these emotional men. And the moment I see that this man is emotional and he becomes unhinged and he becomes triggered too easily, I just distance myself. I cut him off, actually. Like the moment I find out you're an emotional man, I cut you off. Because I don't hang around brothers like that. And I can know you forever. Because a lot of times, I'm not, you know, let's be real, I'm busy and other men are busy. I'm not around these men 24/7. But the moment I see that they become emotional and they allow their emotions to overtake them, I start getting real guarded. Just real guarded. Like, oh, that's the biggest turn off for me. Like, I gotta get up out of here. I gotta leave. I gotta just walk out. Hey, you could be talking, or you know, you don't even have to be talking to me. I can just see how you react with other people, and it's too emotional and less logic. I just like, hey, babe, we gotta go. Let's go. Hey, bye, everybody. You know, I could be at a get together, a gathering. As soon as I start seeing emotional men, I know that is a dangerous place for me to be around. I gotta leave. So instead of worrying about 70,000 men on Telegram who are far away, who are a small group of men, again, I'm going to say it again, ladies, what you need to be worried about is that beta male simp orbiter that you put in the friend zone, and he's just waiting around for you to become vulnerable. That's the most dangerous man right there. These are crimes of passion, and these are usually done by people who you know. So don't put it on all men. Don't put it on all men. Don't put it on all men, because majority of men do not act like this. Majority of men, believe it or not, are not beta male simps running around. Men are busy trying to do something, trying to build something. That's what men do. Our biggest thing that men are, we're our protectors. We protect women and children. That's just something that is innately in all men to do. It's not in all men to do what those 70,000 men were doing on Telegram. That's evil. That's a sickness. That's a deep incel and sinful nature that has been fed. And it probably stemmed from a childhood trauma, if I'm going to be honest. So you got to watch out for you got to watch out for emotional men in your midst. Don't, you know, feel protected around the masculine man. Don't think that they're the ones. Listen, a man who is confident in himself and in his ability is not going to be worried about what you got going on. If you're for him, he's going to see that, and then he's going to, you know, he's gonna have enough game, enough confidence, enough mouthpiece to secure the. See, a man, especially salesmen, we know how to close. You know, you leave that door open, we gonna close that door, and we gonna close the deal, and we gonna get on our way, marriage and matrimony, and the kids, the whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. But the beta male simp men, the ones that are in your inbox telling you what you want to hear, and are willing to wait, and y'all, I hate to be telling, I'm just telling y'all the truth, ladies. Just telling y'all the truth. I hate to say it like this, but those men, they're not for you. Those are incels at best. If you put a man in the friend zone and he waits, he's the sucker. And there's going to come a point where he's going to realize that he's a sucker. And then when emotional men who realize they're the sucker, you don't want to be around. Because then they're going to take it out on you. You made me wait. You made me jump through the hoops. And they go on their unaliving spree. They go on their graping spree. Because they realize that they're a chump. And that's what usually happens 9 out of 10 times. These brothers realize they're a chump. They get angry. They get emotional. And then all hell breaks loose. A lot of these, what do you call it? People that do pew-pews, school pew-pews, and all other people. These are emotional people. These are people who can't logically figure it out. So they have to emotionally do something. Because they can't logically figure it out. This is not the majority of men. Again, men are protected. 𝗖𝗵𝗂𝘁𝗁 unhinged souls is enough to warrant a discussion. You must be purposeful in your dating. Yeah, you got to be. You got to be. But I would say this again. It's most likely the men you know. The men you put in the friend zone. The men who are stupidly waiting around in the friend zone. Those are the men you really got to worry about, ladies, because I hate to say it, there's not men out there. If you're around confident men, they're gonna attract women, and they're not gonna be foolish enough to wait around for you. Those men who are foolishly waiting around for you, those are the first ones you should look at. First ones. And especially if they're not busy. They got all this time on their hands to do things for you, take you around, pay your bills, all that stuff. If they got time to do all that, if they got time to take you shopping, listen to you cry on the phone all the time about other men. Jesus Christ. What type of man does that? Yeah, I like that. No friend zoning today's men either. And yeah, listen, you either are attracted to them or you're not. You're either attracted to them or you're not. Either they're for you or they're not. If you don't get them butterflies or whatever you're looking for, then cool, move on. But don't think. Listen, men, again, I want you to understand, ladies. Men are smart. Even though there are emotional men out there, they're still men, and they still have logic. They're still gonna one day figure out that they're a simp, and that they're losers, right? Men figure this stuff out, and they either do something about it or they react. And a lot of these school pew-pews and all this other stuff, and these mass pew-pews, these are men who are reacting. These are men who are emotional. And they're reacting. See, when most men, when they come across something that they can't figure out, once they figure it out, like, man, you know what, I've been doing the wrong things, or I've been living the wrong way, they change. And they become better. See, hard times for men build men's character. Yeah, man, if they ain't a family member, yeah, that's keeping a buck. If they ain't a family member, what are you doing having male friends who are not family members? Listen, this is what I say all the time, ladies. Dating leads to sex. That's all dating does. If you go out on a date with a man, you are telling that man that you want to have sex with him at some point. So my thing is this. Dating should only be reserved for married couples, because who needs to be having sex in their relationship? Married men. So married men, date your wives and keep the sex going. You understand me? Do not be in no relationship where the sex is gone. Date your wife. Dating is not for single people. Single people need to be courting. You need to be finding out everything about that woman and everything about that man. You need to inspect what you expect. You need to investigate where your family from. Who's your mama and them? Where your grandparents from? How do y'all do things on the holidays? What type of are you the type of person that's going to start something and complete it, or are you the type of person that's going to start something and then start something else and then start something else and then start and never finish? You need to know these things. What type of leadership? What type of leader are you? Do you lead with a firm hand, or are you a little relaxed? You need to know these things. This is not the, oh, he looks good and let me have some sex. That's not going to serve you. Or the man. This is not for men to be undisciplined men out here and sleeping with everything going on. I was watching this, I think it was a documentary. I forget what it was. But they were talking to this man who was dang near 90 years old. And the brother looked like he was still in his 40s and 50s. And he was 90 years old, driving a car in his right mind. He was an old civil rights black. I mean, this was a black man, okay? But he looked like he was still in his 40s or 50s. And you know, one of the things he said was a secret. I don't know if y'all want to hear this, man. He said the secret to staying young is retaining your seed. Not sleeping with multiple women, but finding one woman and committing to that one woman. And that was the secret to his fountain of youth. Of course, he added exercise on there. Of course, he had eating the right foods. But one of the things was sexual discipline. A lot of men don't want to hear that. Right? We want to tell women to be sexually disciplined, and they definitely should be. Women, keep your freaking legs closed. But men also. See, y'all know boxers and fighters. You know how they become world champion. You want to know how to become world champion in any type of physical sport. You got to abstain from sex, because that takes your energy. That takes your dunamis power. It does something. It makes you weak. When you start sleeping with multiple women, you become weak as a man. You become weak. You can't think straight. You can't figure things out. Your head becomes cloudy. Your judgment becomes cloudy. Part of being a man is having self-control. That's the first thing as a man you must learn, is how to have self-control. Without it, you can't lead a household. You're not qualified. You're not qualified. If you don't have self-discipline, if you don't know how to control your bodily members, if you don't know how to tame your demon, so to speak, you can't lead a household. What other man is going to want to follow you if you see this? This is how you know you're a leader. This is the problem. When you become a leader, right? You can't do what everybody else do. Because if you're doing what they're doing, why the hell would they want to follow you? Why the hell would they want to follow you if you're acting just like them? If you're cussing in the streets, saying nigga, whatever, if you're doing all that, man, what am I following you for, man? You wake up, do everything that I do. What makes you different than me? See, men, we sniff that out like, I met this brother, especially, we look at these pastors on TV and they start, you be like, man, this brother's at the bar. Why I'm going to follow this pastor who hangs out at the bar chasing skirt just like me? You got to be different. This is why the boss doesn't hang out with his employees. Not that he doesn't want to hang out with his employees. It's just that if he starts hanging around his employees, guess what's going to happen? Those employees are going to start showing up to work late. They're going to start thinking, oh, the boss is just one of the fellas. Right? So when you become a boss, you can't hang out with people like, you can't do it because the respect level is never going to be there. There's always going to be that couple of people, that few people that overstep their bounds, and they're not going to realize, hey man, I gotta shut you down because this is not good for the company. That's why when you're an employee and then you're elevated amongst your employee, there's always going to be hate and backbiting going on, because guess what? You can't do what you used to do anymore. And that's what people hate the most. It's not that they don't want to see you succeed. It's just now you can't be like them, and you get paid more money, and they get stuck down here with everybody else because they didn't do what they were supposed to do so they could be elevated. See, most people don't want that discipline. They run from it. But as a man, you need to embrace it. Embrace discipline. Discipline is your friend. Discipline is going to open more doors than you can ever think about. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't be. Listen, man. Go to work. Listen, a lot of y'all befriending too many employees, man, and you better just go in there and get your work done and go home. That's the safest thing to do, because at the end of the day, when it comes time for a promotion, who do you think they want to see promoted? You or them? You or them? They're always going to see them being promoted, and they're always going to despise you if you're promoted. So it's best not to be just treated as business, because at the end of the day, it's a competition. Who's going to feed their family? And you got to feed your family first. So go in there, put your business at home, be friends with your husbands, be liked by your kids, be friends with your neighbors in your community. But when you go to work, you keep business. Period. But one of the things that old man said in this documentary that I was watching, that he was like 90 years old, looking like he was 40, 50. He was like abstaining from sex, eating the right foods. That's why it's important to find the right woman, because if you have a woman that gives a damn about you, she's going to make sure she's feeding you the right foods and not feeding you unhealthy food. Or if you make enough money, make sure you get you a nutritionist that can prepare all your meals for you and your family, if you got it like that. Because that's what it's going to take, especially in the future. Y'all know how bad our food is in America. And I don't want to go in too deep on that, because they'll flag me, they'll ban me. I'm trying to stay unbanned right now. So I'm just trying to give y'all the game real quick, without going too deep. So I'm hoping you guys just pick up on what I'm trying to say. But if you it's not the most beautiful, fellas, listen to me, it's not the most beautiful woman that you're looking for. I'm not saying she has to be ugly. She has to be qualified, right? She has to be good looking enough that you want to have sex with her, but she has to be loving enough that she cares for you, that she wants to make sure that she wants to make sure your family is good. And part of that is health. You don't want, I know you don't want the woman that's making pork chops and fried food all the time, and that's okay. That's part of our culture, especially if you're a foundation black American. We love fried food, macaroni, cheese, ham hocks, and all. We eat it. But get you a woman that's gonna think about your health. Get you a woman that has endurance in her, that's gonna run the race with you. Not the woman that you got to pull on and drag, but the one that's going to run the race with you and help you accomplish all your goals. And she's going to understand that there's going to be time that she's going to have to get her hands dirty and get right next to you in the mud to pull your family up. Now I always preach this: if you're a man, you got to pay bills. You got to be the man. You got to be that brother that makes it all right. But there's going to be times where, you're not always going to be in that situation. And you're going to need a woman, not a trophy wife, but a woman that understands, hey, Things was good in the past, it's going to get better in the future, but I got to get my hands dirty a little bit and help. And if you're blessed enough to where you never have to go through that, that's awesome too. But just make sure you still get you a woman that can endure hard times. Not just the woman that's going to be there with you when the times are great, but you need that woman that's going to be there with you when the times are not so great. And if you find you a woman like that, you hold on to that woman, you treat that woman with respect, you don't cheat on that woman, you fall in love, you find ways to fall in love with that woman every single day of your life. You fall in love with her. Oh, that's why you must date this woman. That's why every time if she does the smallest thing right, you celebrate it. She ironed your clothes. Oh, girl, we got to go out on a date. She fixed you a meal that was off the oh, girl, you know, I got to take you out of the country. You got to find ways to fall in love with this woman over and over again. You come home, she got a clean house for your time. Girl, you take her up out of that house. Hey, girl, go take a shower, get dressed. We're going out. You appreciate that woman and watch what happens when you sow into her, how she's going to sow back into you. And if you find you a woman that's sowing into you, you must not take that for granted. Celebrate your woman. And women, celebrate your man. If you got you a hard-working man, he doesn't have to be rich. But if he's if he's working 8, 12-hour days, if he's working 8, 12-hour days, oh my God, Jesus Christ, this thing is tripping. Hold on. Alright. They did a verification check on me. I don't know what that means. But if you got a man that's working 8, 12-hour days and he's working hard and he's doing what needs to be done, he's doing his best to pay all the bills, not some, but all the bills. He don't have the best job, but he's putting in that work. You appreciate that man. Appreciate him. Find ways to fall in love with that man for the sacrifice that he's making for the family. Because at the end of the day, a man, we're not requiring things from our wife. We don't require you to take us shopping. We don't require you to buy us anything really. But you know what men are starving for? Appreciation. Appreciate the things that your men do. And let me tell you something, that little bit of appreciation, that can fuel him for another 5, 10 yean. Thank you. And I appreciate you, baby. Oh, you know, that little bit of recognition that man gets, because he's probably not even getting that on the job. And when he come around his homeboys, we just clowning him anyway. We just telling him how stupid he is, because that's what we do. We kick, especially if you're part of FBA, man, we kick jokes on each other. We just like that. I was over my buddy's house the other day, and all we did was bag on each other in front of our women. That's all we did. And it was cool. It was fantastic. I missed that. Hanging out, man, with my boy, man, well, all we did was clown each other. But that little bit of appreciation you get from your woman, that means the world. That means more than anything. More than anything to a man. So I need men and women to appreciate each other. Don't focus on these 70,000 men on Telegram and think it's all men, ladies. Don't do it. Just like you don't want men to focus on the hood rat, gold digger that's scamming all the men out here and say all women. You don't want that, right? You don't want men saying all women are gold diggers, all women are bad, all women just want money, all these women are independent women, they don't want to listen, blah, blah. You don't want men doing that. So don't treat men like they're these 70,000 idiots out here, because you don't want to ever decenter a man. You want to put a man in his rightful place at all times, because that man is going to lead you, he's going to guide you, and he's going to protect you. Regardless of what you may think, oh, I can do it myself. No, you can't. You're always, always, always going to need a man. And a man is always, always, always going to need a woman. It's better that we just get in where we fit in and work with each other and build up something for our future. It's better that way. All this backbiting and going back and forth, that's never going to help us. That's only going to hurt us. And if we have children, that's only going to damage the children. It's only going to damage the children. You don't want your kids seeing the worst of you. You want your kids seeing the best of you. You want them to learn from the best, not learn from the worst. You don't want your kids saying, I don't want to be like my dad, so I'm going to be a better man because I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to be like my mom, so I'm going to become a better woman because I don't want to be... You don't want to do that. You want to be like, I had great examples of what a man and a woman is supposed to be, and I want to be better than that example that they showed me. Not better than the worst that they showed me. You follow me? You see how much different that is? Imagine being better than the best than being better than the worst. You don't want to be better than the worst. You want to be better than the best. So put forth those type of examples so you can start bearing proper fruit. I'm thankful I had a good father. I pray that a lot of people had good fathers, but I know that that's not always true. A lot of my best friends grew up in single parent homes. I tell this story a lot. My dad was the father of the block. It was my dad and this other African dude. Those were the two dads in our neighborhood that I grew up in. My dad was military, and I think the African dude drove a taxi. The two dads on the block. FBA and African. That was the only two dads on the block. Everybody else, all my friends, single mothers, single mothers, single mothers. Men in and out the home, men in prison. That's what it was. But we all grew up together. We all knew each other's family. And somehow we made it. Somehow we did something with ourselves. I got my brother, my best friend, man. This brother owns a house, working at the same job for over 20 years. He's not rich, but he's powerful, thorough brother, man. Mouthpiece, game, laced with game. Got it all. Got him a good woman. They're probably, I don't want to tell you, but they probably, if I was to guess, they'd probably making about 150 plus a year. They doing all right. Another homeboy, he just bought it seemed like he bought his dream home. Brother got a freaking football field for a backyard. He seemed like he bought the whole block. He got the best house on the block. And he grew up in a single mother home. And all he does is give praises to my dad, because my dad, man, he mentored a lot of brothers. He didn't just mentor me, he mentored all my friends. He handpicked all my friends and said, this is your friend and this isn't your friend. So I was thankful that I had a father with that much discernment that was helping me weed out the bad friends. And then he would bring in all the people that he said was my friends, and he mentored he was a father to every single one of those. Every single one of them. And they all came out fat, man. I don't got any broke friends. I don't know about y'all, but I don't got my day ones. I don't got any broke friends. My friends make money. If I need something, they gonna give it to me. I don't know about y'all. Some of y'all ain't got a friend that can rub two nickels together to give you. Y'all both broke together. My friends, we're not broke. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying if you're broke, do something about it. Get yourself up out of that situation. Will Jesus pay for the genocide of American Indian people to steal our land, Texas Apache land? I don't know, brother. Are you a real Indian? Or are you a $5 Indian? That's what I would say. I don't know. If you're indigenous to the land is yours. But if you're not, then maybe you the one that got the problem. That's all I can say. I don't know. But I'll say this, man. You gotta work hard out here. You gotta work hard out here. There's nothing wrong with working hard, and you gotta be smart too. You gotta work smart, and you gotta work hard to achieve anything you want to achieve in life, period. So to be caught up in propaganda and witchcraft that you see online, feminist propaganda, witchcraft, decentering of men, the destroying of the nuclear family, the I'm better than you and you're better than me, all that stuff going back and forth. That's not gonna serve you in 2025. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. That's not gonna. If you bring that from 2024 into 2025, you're gonna have the same year that you had in 2024. The same year. If you want to do something different, if you want to get different results, you gotta do something different. If you want to get something you never had, you can't keep doing the same thing that you did to try to get it that didn't work. You got to try something new. Be honest with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself in all its flaws, and work on what you can work on, and what you can't work on, just pray that God gives you grace. Because some things you can't work on. You can't fix imperfections as far as looks. So you can only do so much. Right? Maybe you're getting older. You can only do so much. You can only, you're only going to look good for a small time, for a small amount of time. But the best thing you can work on is your character. I'm going to tell you what makes men attractive and women attractive: character. When you have a woman of good character and you have a man of good character, it doesn't even matter a lot of times what the physicalness looks like. It's the character that you fall in love with. So work on your character probably the most. Work on your character the most. That's the most important thing to work on. Hit the gym, eat right, all that good stuff, but work on your character. Don't always think plastic surgery is going to fix everything, because a lot of these women you see with the plastic surgery, they got these duck lips, and I think they got men going through plastic surgery now, man. It's crazy. Men are getting Botox, and they just look like ironing boards. They look like their face just been ironed on or something. It looks bad. It looks bad. Embrace your natural self. Eat healthy, and work on your character. Work on becoming stronger. Yeah, it is crazy work. That's crazy work. I don't understand it, man. I've seen just these lips that look like somebody, these swollen lips that are popular right now, especially amongst the YT women, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy out here, man. Be natural. Go back to your natural self. Fall in love with what God gave you. And improve what God gave you, not putting on this extra stuff. Just improve, just take care of what God gave you. And for lack of a better word, take care of what God gave you. And men, as men, be strong and be disciplined. It's time. Listen, we gotta lead, especially foundational Black Americans. Men, we gotta lead. We gotta lead by example, and we gotta lead with wisdom, strength, and a sound mind. We gotta be able to judge correctly. We gotta be able to see the playing field, see the board. We gotta be able to think 3 to 5 moves ahead. We got to see things coming before others see it coming. We got to have vision. When you can see things that other people can't see, you have vision. We got to be men of vision. We got to see the things that are negatively impacting us, and we got to see the things that are positive that are coming around the corner. So when we sell a dream to our family, we got to sell hope, and we got to show the work, so they know that, hey, what we're seeing is not in our head. It's happening right now. We got to give our family something to hope for, set goals for our family. This is the goal. This is what we're trying to do. And this is how we're going to reach the goal. We're going to do this, and that. If you trust me, if you follow what I'm doing, I promise you we're going to get this over here. And even if we fall short, I got another plan. You know, we're going to get it. Everything is not always going to be perfect. We're going to hit some challenges, but we're going to get it. If you talk to your spouse, if y'all talk to each other and communicate like that, how can y'all lose? How can y'all lose? When you have a man with vision who's also laying out the plan. And he's saying, listen, man, if you get, last year you bought 12 persons. If you just get 10 persons this time, watch what I do with the other 2 money that you're going to use on persons. Watch what we do with it. If you can just cut that 10 purse down to 5 purses, or cut this down to, watch what, if we can just get on a budget that works for both of us, watch what we can do with that. If you start talking like that, how can you not succeed? How can you not succeed? So as foundational Black Americans, we got to be strong. We got to be vigilant. We need our people on. We need to stay codified, right? And we need our men in their rightful positions. We can't be decentering our men, because we're not the problem. We're always going to be the solution. Men are the solution, ladies. Believe it or not. They're the solutions. And if you don't think men are solutions, I'm just going to tell you, you haven't been dealing with men, you've been dealing with boys. But when you walk in the room and you find a man in that room, you're going to find solutions. All the time. Not some of the time, but all the time. And if we get a group of men, foundational Black American men, in one room together, in a think tank type scenario, watch what can happen. Watch what can happen. Men are great problem solvers. The best. Some of the best problem solvers on the earth are men. That's what men do. That's what God put us on this earth to do, to solve problems. That's what we do. In 2025, we're going to be solving problems. That's what I want to challenge men to do. What problem are you solving? What are you going to do for your people? What problem are you going to pick up? What mantle are you going to pick up and take on? What burden are you going to carry on your shoulders? I would answer that. Why do we create wars? Jesus Christ. Beta! Beta! Can you say beta? Only beta people ask like that. I mean, that's part of it, man. Let me tell you something. I hate to tell you, man, WAR is part of it. It's just part of it. The Bible says it like this: the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. You're always going to have to take what's yours. So if you can't handle it, that's why you need men. If you can't handle it, get out the way and let some other man who can handle it. If you can't protect, move out the way and let another man protect, because you're too weak to protect. Because protecting, you got to have some WAR in you to protect, sir. You got to have some WAR in you to protect, sir. You can't be weak talking about, I'm going to protect you. No, you got to be strong. So that's why you're a beta male. That's why you're an emotional man. That's why you're weak and not strong. Because you asked that question right there. Or you made that statement right there. Anything worth having is worth protecting, sir. And if you can't protect it, maybe you don't need to have it. It should be in somebody else's hands who can protect it. There's your answer. That's what happens when you hang around in the women's camp too long. You need to hang around some men, some thorough men, so we can kick your butt and get you in shape. No offense with the ladies, I love the women, but that's something women ask. Why do men create? That's something that a woman would say, brother. Just being honest. And not that it's wrong that a woman says that, but I can understand if it came from a woman. But when I hear that from another man, you should know better. And if you don't know better, it lets me know what type of men you might have had in your life. See, I can always tell who's who by the way, by the question that they ask. I can find out everything I need to know about you. Because there's some questions as a man, what's understood doesn't need to be said. That's a feminist mindset that you have, sir. And you probably belong to the LGBTQ, if I'm being honest. That's something a moist brother would say. Are you a little moist? Do you want to buck break men? Just being honest. Are you a moist brother? Is that why you don't want to protect and stand up and be a man and go to WAR when it's time, when it's appropriate? Because there's a time to play. There's a time to laugh. There's a time to cry. There's a time to dance. And there's definitely a time to WAR, sir. And if you don't know that, maybe you like what you like. You know? Maybe you like soft and dainty things. Just saying. But a man, he knows, he's not going to ask that question. He knows better. See, let me tell you what men understand. There's a certain level of threat that we know that happens with every man. That's why men give respect a lot more than women, to be truthful, because we understand there's a level of threat. We know that, hey, if I say this to a man, he's gonna meet me at that level, and it might come to this. It might be a clash, and you got to be able to stand on business at that point and defend that ideology. See, we just don't pop off the mouth at any old man because we know, hey, it can get to this real quick. So we give respect. But when you don't understand, when you're protected and you don't understand that level of threat, that's why you have that one woman that's always yeah, because she doesn't understand that it can go here, and she doesn't think it's gonna go there. That's why she's saying that. Or she's trying to trigger you to get you there so she can call that 911. But other men, we know better. We know it can go to WAR real quick. So we don't always want to go to WAR. So we're like, let's be diplomats. Let's be diplomatic about this. What are your grounds? And I'll tell you what my grounds, and let's try to make a compromise. Men are very good at compromising. We're very good at that. So whenever I hear these moist dudes talk like that, I just gotta call it out. You're a simp, man. You're the one that women should be concerned about and worried about. Ladies, you don't have to worry about the masculine man, because the masculine man, he's going to attract women. He's going to get his fair share of women. But the emasculated man, that's the one you have to worry about, because he's not going to get his fair share of women. And he's going to feel left out. And he's going to become emotional. And then he's going to become dangerous. See how that works? But a masculine man, you don't got to worry. He's going to get his fair share of women. He's going to have confidence. He's going to know how to execute. He's going to live the good life. But it's the man that's doing without, that's not getting that attention. That's the man that's the man that you got to worry about. That's the man that's part of the 70,000 men on Telegram. Because they don't know how to use this mouthpiece to get what they want. They don't know how to be diplomatic when it's time to be diplomatic. They don't know how to go to WAR when it's time to go to WAR. But you know what they know how to do? They know how to be manipulative. They know how to be secretive. They know how to lie. I say it's hard. This first thing I learned in my household is real men don't lie. Who are you afraid of that you gotta lie to? I'm not afraid of my woman, so why am I gonna lie to her? I'm not afraid of no other man, so why am I lying to him? But when you're fearful, you gotta lie. And we all know how these tethers love to lie. See, when you gotta latch on to another man's greatness, to another lineage greatness, you're a tether. When you undermine another lineage, you're a tether. When you gotta make up stories about a grown man or a grown woman, you're a liar. And liars are tethers. Let's keep it a buck. See, I love being a foundational black American because I don't have to lie. All I gotta do is stand on business. And the truth is always gonna be the truth. You just can't change it. And you don't gotta like it. But guess what? It's true. It's true, but you don't gotta like it. I love it. I love it because I don't gotta make up no lies. All I gotta do is hit you with hard, cold facts and stand on that. And stand on that. Facts. So, yeah, man, ladies, y'all be careful with these beta male simps. Those are the ones you got to worry about. The one that are the beta male that are orbiting your friend zone, that always around you, the ones that's going to take you out to eat when you're feeling down and you're feeling low because some brother that you was chasing after or some brother that you really cared about did you wrong. It's that beta male simp that you got to worry about. It's not the masculine man. It's not the brother that is confident and getting what he's getting in life. It's the brother that lacks confidence. It's the brother that's willing to lie, cheat, steal, con his way to the top because he's not thorough enough to stand on business. When a brother's not thorough enough to stand on business, that brother's capable of anything. I can't trust him. I won't let him around my kids. I won't let him around my wife. I won't let him around anything in my circle. And then somehow they become part of the 70,000 men on Telegram. And we don't want that. So it's best not to entertain men in the friend zone. If you got to make that brother a friend, let's be real. He's probably not the one, ladies. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. I know brothers want to be like, oh, well, you know, I want to try. I want to let her know that I really care about her. Brother, you got to know when to fight and when to let it go. There are billions of women on the planet, man. Billions. Why are you sniffing around one? Go find you a woman that wants you. That's all you gotta worry about. The woman that wants you, appreciate that one. Don't appreciate the woman that's not paying attention to you. Okay. If you gotta prove to a woman to look at you that you're worthy, she probably is not looking at you like you're worthy. That's why you gotta prove to her that you are worthy. But if she understands you right off the rip and you doing all this and that and blah blah blah, and she gets you, that's probably the one you should be concerned with. Oh, look at that. We got Leon in the house. That's probably the one you should be concerned with. The woman that's chasing you, not the woman that's not chasing you. Because obviously that woman is chasing somebody. Listen, she's chasing somebody. And it's not you, my friend. So leave that one alone. Stop sniffing around. Have some balls. Have some moral fiber about yourself. Have a belief and a confidence in yourself that says you are enough for some woman, and go find that one. 8 billion women on this planet, you better find you one. You better find you one. Don't be in the 2025, I don't want to see no men in the friend zone. Get out of it. It's not a good place. You don't want to be in the friend zone. You don't want to be paying for these dates and these meals and not getting nothing in return. Don't do it. Leave these women alone. If they want you, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know they want you. You don't got to keep proving yourself that she should want you over him. If she doesn't know that she's supposed to be with you over him, then that's her loss, not yours. Smell good, look your best, be in the best physical shape you can be in, right? Get you the highest paying job you can get, and live your life. And if a woman doesn't appreciate you for that, she don't deserve you. But being Mr. Nice Guy and paying for all these women's meals, flying them out and doing all this lying just to get what you want, and waiting around till they're vulnerable, till the man that she's been chasing after doesn't want her, and then you come in like, see, I've been here this whole time. I'm the one that paid your light bill and paid your rent and paid your car note for you when things was going bad. I've been here. You should choose me. You're the problem. You could possibly be part of the 70,000 Telegram man. Because the moment that man realizes he's a sucker, that's when the problems happen. The moment that man wakes up and realizes he's been in the friend zone all this time and he's still not going to get what he's been waiting on, he becomes dangerous. Because his emotions, he becomes emotional. He's like, oh man, I'm so stupid, I'm so dumb. Why did I? He start crying, and he start, you know what? I need to go on an unaliving spree. So just Google 70,000 men on Telegram, and you're gonna find out. 70,000 men on Telegram these are not good men. These are evil men. They're chopping up the wrong type of game. They're doing the most outlandish things, and then you know what happens. The feminists get a hold of this information, and then they start saying decenter all men. They start saying decenter all men, and we can't have that. Because in 2025, you're going to need a man. Ladies, and from 2025 and here on out, you're definitely going to need a man. Let me tell you, the world is changing in ways you can't understand. And if men don't have women and women don't have men, it's going to be, oh my God, it's just going to be a hard life. Men, you shouldn't be single, and women, you shouldn't be single Find you a woman and build and settle down. Love on that woman. Woman, love on that man and build your freaking family. You don't want to be caught out here by yourself. You just don't. You just don't. Okay? Some of you women are fine too. Some of y'all ladies are fine. Y'all look good. You look good. You done got a little bit older, but you still look good. Get you a man. Don't find you a Dr. Moise Watkins and think, don't find you a Steve Harvey. Y'all see what's going on with Steve Harvey, right? Y'all see he's going through a divorce, you know what I'm saying? Oh, she's the love of my life, and I love, simping never works. Being a thorough man always works. Being a confident man, see, when you have competence, you breed confidence. When you got skills that pay bills, you are a confident man. And you are probably qualified to be with a woman. But when you're not competent, when you have no confidence, when your confidence is in sucking up and telling women what they want to hear and lying to them and being a simp, you don't qualify for a woman. You need to man up. You need a man to tell you, smack you around and be like, hey brother, you're messing up the game, man. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. See, when you start giving women stuff they haven't earned yet, you mess up the game for everybody. And vice versa, ladies. When you start giving men something they haven't earned yet, you're messing up the game for all the ladies. All the real women out there are going to be mad at you because you messed up the game. And all the thorough brothers are going to be mad at the simp because he's messing up the game. I ain't never seen a time where a bunch of no good nothings are getting a lot. These people don't deserve nothing and they're getting more than they deserve. That messes up the game for everybody. We got to bring back balance. We got to bring back balance to the game. We got to bring back balance to the game. We got to bring it back. So that's why I'm talking about this, man. FBA. Just people, men and women in general, we talking about this today because I don't want to bring that garbage into 2025. I want us to stay level-headed. I want us to stay focused. I know we had a business syndicate and all that stuff in 2024. We were starting something. We were going to do it. But I'm going to do something better. I'm just going to put together a blueprint. Give me about 2-3 weeks. I'll have a blueprint of what you need to do to start your own business. Get yourself going. You and 5 other people can work on this together as a team. You find your 5. I'm not gonna find them for you. You find your 5. You pray about it. You seek it, and you will find it. Okay. You find your 5 people. Y'all go start a business. Y'all go start buying land and property and buying back the block and building up the community. I'm gonna give you the blueprint. I'm gonna give you the blueprint, and I'm gonna sell it to you because. Let me just be honest. If I give it to you for $3, you're gonna treat it like it's $3. So, but if I give it to you to where you have to sacrifice for it, you're gonna understand you sacrifice for this, and you're gonna take it seriously. That's just the way it is. So I put that together for the family so we can have a blueprint. But what I'm focusing on in 2025, and what I'm looking for, and what I'm praying about, and what I'm seeking out. Is I'm putting it, and I'm thinking cryptocurrency and FBA coin. That's all I'm going to be thinking about. Well, not all, but that's going to be one of the main important things I'm going to be working on and trying to put in place. Not trying, but putting in place in the next 6 months to 1 year. If I can get it sooner than that, so be it. And I'm thinking, and my mind, and I think this is probably from the ancestors. They're telling me that we got to stake this coin. So we can't just back it behind just zero. We're going to back it behind real money. And we're going to have to do a Kickstarter. And we're going to have to raise some funds. And we're going to have to get with some powerful people. But we're going to get this thing going. We're going to have an FBA coin. And it will and it shall rival that of Ethereum and Bitcoin, guaranteed. Why? Because the 43 million foundational Black Americans, we are going to back this cause. That's my belief. Okay? So that's what I'm focused on in 2025. I'm not going to be detoured or caught off guard with that. That's what I'm going to be focused on all 2025. I have some other projects definitely that are coming up, but that's going to be the main one. And when that rolls out, when that comes out, I'm going to let y'all know. Give y'all a chance to support it. We're going to do a Kickstarter. We're going to do some type of crowdfunding to get this thing off the ground. And it's going to be phenomenal. Watch what happens. It's going to be phenomenal. It is going to be phenomenal. Phenomenal. Trust and believe. So, hey, I just want to talk to y'all about the 70,000. Nothing to fear. Less than 1% of men. Most men are definitely not like those men. And if you're part of, and I hate to blame it all on the YT. But let's just say it like this. YT supremacy, they have a weird, funny culture. And that's what they do. And most of your incels, if I'm being honest, I hate to put it all on one race because I'm not that guy, but they come from that that YT supremacist community. Because think about it. When you've had to cheat, when you had to create a white supremacy welfare system because of your inadequateness, and you grew up in that YT supremacy, that white privilege, that YT privilege, and you've had that all your life, you never had to really get it out the mud like melanated people and foundational Black Americans had to. When you've always had a system that kind of protects you, you're not able to compete for real. You're not really competing. So what can you do when you expect everything to work out for you, and then when things don't work out for you and you expect it to work out for you and it doesn't, and you don't have that moral fiber to make it right? You don't have that moral fiber to make it right? Right? You know what happens? You become an incel, you become dangerous, you become emotional, you become sexually frustrated, and you do this stupid stuff that these 70,000 men were caught doing. And that's not us. We got everything we got from the mud. We're used to it. We're used to figuring it out. We're used to enduring hard situations and making the hard situations better over time. But they stub their toe and they cry. Oh, I wasn't supposed to stub my toe. Excuse me. You know, it's like we stub our toe and we like, man, it hurt, but I'm gonna get through it. They stub their toe and it's like it's the end of the world. They go on an unaliving spree. See the difference? See, that's what happens when you have to create a system that pushes the real people, the hard-working people to the bottom, and a system that pushes the not working hard people to the top. DEI and all this other stuff. When you got to add those type of systems to help out your people, because DEI never helped foundational Black Americans, so we don't care about it. Affirmative action never really helped foundational Black Americans. So we're not worried about it. But when you create these things to help out people, it makes them weak. It turns them into 70,000 men on Telegram. That's what it does. Makes them weak. So they can't, you know. So I love being a foundational Black American. I love being a Black American because everything I got, I had to work 2 times, 3 times, 4 times harder than everybody else to get it. And I respect it. I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, it's like a man who worked hard to become rich, right? And now that he's rich, he has to raise his son And he's like, man, the dangers of that is, man, is my son is never going to experience what I experienced to get to where I'm at. So how do I teach him? How do I instill in him the value that I got from this, from going through this, when he's never really had to experience that? Right? Like, how do I teach somebody how to get it from the mud when he's never had to get it from the mud? I'm gonna tell you the best way to do this, man, and this is I learned this from my dad. Don't give them everything. Make them figure it out. Don't tell them the answers. Make them figure it out. They're gonna be very frustrated, but they're gonna thank you later. Tell your kids, this is my money and you're broke. You don't have any money. You might have some money. Maybe if you do this, and that, you might have some money. And when I pass away, you know, based on if you did the thing, you were the son and daughter I wanted you to be, you might get some things from me. But if you want to learn, if you want to teach your kids how to get it from the mud, make them figure it out. Stop giving them all the answers without them struggling. Let them struggle. Especially if you're living a well-to-do life. If you got the money and you got a comfortable life, you have to find a way to make it uncomfortable for them. So they do grow up with that street wisdom that you have, as well as that education and that suburb life. I'm not saying go put them in Compton and say grow up out there in Compton. I'm saying that when you see them having a hard time, don't rescue them. Don't mother them. Father them. Figure it out. Put them in karate. Put them in things that challenge them. Put them in things that make them work hard. And put in that mindset that they have to work 2, 3, 4 times harder than everybody else. And say that is the standard to be a part of this family. And that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. Especially if you're well off and you're rich, you find ways to challenge your kid and make things difficult for them so they have to figure it out on their own. And that's how you'll build up that muscle. And that's how you'll help them become self-sufficient when they need to be self-sufficient. And that almost ensures that they're going to carry on the legacy and the success. But if you give them everything because you didn't have everything, you're really hurting your kids. I know a lot of parents, they say, well, I don't want my kids to grow up how I grew up. I want them to have everything I didn't have. That's the wrong, you're going to find out that that's the wrong way to do it. No. Oh, man, let me tell you something, man. I can tell you some stories about my dad and how I had to figure out how to get my own damn school clothes. And it's not that my dad didn't have the money. But I had to work extra jobs, mow lawns because I didn't want to get clowned at school. I had to be fresh like my friends or they was going to clown me. So I had to do extra. I had to work, had to take on a job so I can get things. And my dad had the money. So the best thing you can do is teach your kids how to get out the mud just like you. That's the best thing you can do. Especially if you made it and you're rich now. Or you're middle class and you're well off. Make them get it from the mud. And put that, and make sure you instill in your children the black consciousness that's going to liberate them from white supremacy. Make sure you pass that down to your kids. Because it's this black consciousness that's what's going to liberate you and your family from white supremacy. Nothing else. Nothing else is going to save you. And I don't even care what color you are. I don't even care what ethnic group you are. If you don't have the black consciousness that liberates all, that's the only thing that's going to help you. So, I didn't bring anybody up. If somebody wants to come up, we can chop it up. But I'm done, y'all. I'm done ranting. I'm done. If anybody wants to come up, I'll bring some people up. Let me see who wants to come up. Let me see who's up in here. Bring some people up in here. See who wants to come up in here. I'm just bringing up random people. If y'all want to chop it up, we can chop it up. If not, I'm about to shut it down. So I sent out a couple of invites. If y'all want to come up, we can chop it up. If not, I'm about to shut this thing down, y'all. Oh yeah. FBA album is out. FBA only, Black and Unapologetic is out right now. Y'all can get it right now. It's on Spotify, all major streaming websites, all major streaming platforms, I mean. It's out right now. Man, it's phenomenal, man. Man, let me tell you, I'm bumping this thing every day. And I'm surprised at the many streams I'm getting. I mean, y'all out there streaming it, man. And I want to say thank you. You know, keep streaming it. But let me play something for y'all, man. Let me play something for y'all, man. Straight from the album. I know they ain't gonna like this one, so I'm gonna play this one. But it's called the Reparations Anthem. And then we're gonna get up out of here.
This one's for the ancestors, the ones who built it all, but never saw the reward. Time to get what's owed, reparations. Let's go. Yeah. They took the land, took the culture, took the gold, left us in the cold, never paid for what they stole. 40 acres in a mule was the promise they denied. Generational wealth snatched, left us to survive. Red lines boxed us out, Jim Crow knocked us down. Every system rigged to keep us locked beneath the crown. From Greenwood to Rosewood, blood on the ground. Whole towns erased while they claim the moral high ground. It's deeper than the cash, it's about respect too. For every broken family, every dream they threw. This ain't no handout, nah, this is payback. A ledger full of pain, it's time to balance that. They know us what's ours, can't deny the truth. Build the foundation, time to show the proof. Cut the check, make it right. Bring the justice through. It's reparations now. Yeah, we're coming for you. Picture grandma scrubbing floors just to feed her kin, while Wall Street profited off the color of her skin.
Out now. 14 tracks.
By chance, they burned our wealth, left us empty hands. The Homestead Act, that ain't include my kinfolk. They gave away the land while our people stayed broke. And when we made progress, they blew it to dust. Like in Tulsa, jealousy, fueled the mistrust. Every deed, every dollar, every loophole they found was designed to keep us tethered, bound to the ground. But now we rise, no disguises, no lies. We demand what's owed, let the check be finalized. They know us what's ours, can't deny the truth. Build the foundation, time to show the proof. Cut the check, make it right. Bring the justice through. It's reparations now. Yeah, we're coming for you. Yo, don't hit me with excuses, I ain't trying to hear that. Talking about it's the past, we still feel the impact. A great uncle's debt ain't something he owed. It's the legacy of theft, and that story's been told. Pay the bill like you should've, ain't no discount plan. From the cotton fields to the ghettos, we demand that stand. America's pockets been fat from our labor and tears, but now the tables turn. Watch us shift the gears. It's more than just money, it's about repairing souls, restoring what was taken, making families whole. Reparations ain't a favor, it's the justice we seek. From the valleys to the hills, hear the ancestors speak. They don't know what's ours, can't deny the truth.
You know what's ours.
Build the foundation, time to show the proof.
Cut the check, make it right. Bring the justice through.
Reparations now. Yeah, we're coming for you.
Come on.
Coming for you.
That's on the album. That's on the album. It is out now. It is out right now. FBA only, black and unapologetic. Y'all make sure y'all stream it, man. Y'all make sure y'all buy it. I'm about to probably give me like a couple days. I'll put a link in the bio. I'm gonna put together a package for you guys, man. Make it more accessible for you to buy the album and everything like that. Because I know it's kind of hard. You gotta have a premium membership if you want to buy the album off these streaming platforms. You gotta have a premium membership to do that. And one of the ways you do that is by, once you have a premium membership, you click the download button, and that's equivalent to buying the album, and you're able to play it offline and things like that. So yeah, but I'm gonna put together a link in the bio, make it easier for you guys to come straight up, buy it straight from me. 14 tracks, phenomenal. Play this thing loud, play it proud. This is definitely music that's going to be a conversation starter, and the lyrics, the production, the beats, everything's on point. Everything's industry standard or better, and it's something I'm proud of, and I hope you guys support it. That's the best I can say. I hope you guys support it. It's that good. So with that being said, hey, I'm gonna sign off, you guys, man. You guys have a good night. It's the late night tap in. We're gonna do some more like this. Y'all check me out on YouTube, Too Much Moxie. Also check me out on X. I'm gonna be on X. I'm gonna start doing some things on X under Unusual One, UNUSUALWON, and I also have a Too Much Moxie on. You also have two Twitter tags, but everything's the same thing. I'm in the, I have a bunch of followers on one and a bunch of not, I'm like, I don't know. So eventually I'm gonna pick and choose, but for right now I got both of those on Twitter, and those are the three platforms I'm gonna pay attention to: TikTok, X, and YouTube this 2025. So y'all check me out on those platforms right there, and we're gonna keep making it do what it do. Keep preaching that truth, keep standing on business, and it's only gonna get greater later. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's only going to get greater later. With that being said, man, this is the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much. And we out, bro. We are out. Y'all take it easy. Peace.